I'm really looking forward to the next stage in our journey of fixing up this 1963 Chevy Corvair Spyder. If you've been following along, you know that last time we pulled the engine out. So this time, we're going to take it apart. Should be great, but I do need to remember that taking things apart is way, way easier than putting them back together. Let's worry about that later. So because that table was moving on me, I got an assistant now, and we should be able to turn this thing. So here we go. And she's turning.
Hey, look, that's the way life goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that in your way? No.
Ready?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, come as
Okay.
it sucks because this is not a good angle.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Well, now, so
It's
is
off.
it?
Yeah, it's just connected to that hose there. So there we go.
You're
There
good.
it is.
There you go.
All right.
Shouldn't be much oil in there. Maybe a little residual, but
Seems okay.
okay.
Get
Dirty.
Okay. Perfect.
That was easy.
That was easy. Could have been harder. We're making progress.
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, all right.
So that's the exhaust pipe.
Yeah, if you wanted to, although it may not need to. Okay. All right, good.
Okay. There you go. Yep. Yep. There you go. There you
Nice. See these little, are these spot welds?
go. I think they were spot welded on there. You're obviously not going to be able to spot weld them back on,
Right.
but what you can do is just use a nut and a, a
Yeah.
bolt and a nut and a lock nut, and it'll
Right.
achieve the same task. It's just
Yeah.
holding the turbo in place, right?
Why am I not getting my, it broke at the last second.
Yeah.
Golly. I had that going.
Did it leave something down there? Of course it did.
Yeah. There you go.
That side might be a little warm.
It's okay.
This side's warm.
That thing's light.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got a
They're all
baggie
different
for these
sizes.
or something?
Here's a baggie for that. So I'm going to carve out a couple of flats on either side so we can get a hold of this stubborn Phillips screw.
There you go.
You got it.
It's going.
Yep.
I guess I'd rather do it up down here. Come on, baby.
It's time.
Is it turning? Wasn't the desired result, but you see the technique that's we were using.
All right.
There, but not like something's holding it.
Is it this thing here?
Would be my assumption.
Okay.
Here, I'll hold that for you.
Oh,
See now it'll lift up. I presume over the top of that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then.
Oh. See underneath here.
It's really in good shape.
It is in good shape.
I mean, thank God for oil residue, or it'd be rusted.
Nice.
Get you out of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is off.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
I think I found one of the wrenches we were looking for. Weren't we looking for a 9/16?
Yeah. Sitting over there. Should we be supporting something?
Well, one would think. Hang on.
Okay. All right, good.
Yeah, good thing we looked that up on the internet.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, let's get the starter off.
Oh, yeah, let's get the starter off.
Okay. What's in all the other coolers out there?
Specialty beers.
Oh. Come on, honey. Okay.
Okay.
Should just. Yep, there we go. Got it?
Yep, I got it.
That'll certainly make that a lot easier to do.
Not too bad.
No, not really.
Yeah. Teeth look good.
Stand down near the edges.
Okay.
There you go.
What size drive?
Yeah.
Camera off. What's going?
There we go.
All right.
I got my two. I don't know what that. Good. Now come over this side. Let's make sure that we don't have anything. See, that looks like
There
a
is a
bolt.
bolt. There's a bolt right here. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So that's not good.
You know what I want to do? I want to put one on the top.
Okay.
Let's put one back in
Yeah.
the top that will hold it.
All right. You want that kind of seated, don't you, to hold
Just enough. I mean,
Yeah.
all it's going to do is keep it from slipping down and
Right.
bending the shaft, right? I need a little bit of a cheater.
it? Okay.
And this actually works. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, nice piece of cake. Okay. Look at that short little thing. So greasy, it's not rusted.
There it goes.
Yeah. And I just. Okay.
Okay.
Now we're just gonna come straight out, and remember we're gonna set it by the fire extinguisher. Everything look good? Oh, like a piece of cake. Tip it. There you go. Okay.
Wow.
Further than you thought, right?
Yeah. I say we call it a day. Well, it's much better. It's not perfect, but not sure we're gonna get it perfect this way. You can actually see the studs as they insert into the block there pretty clearly. Cleaned up all right on this side. On the other side, we stirred up some remnants from the past. Somebody was storing some corn in there. This side also looks okay. Not perfect, but it may be what we're going to end up with during the disassembly, and we'll have to do a lot more cleanup in the sub-assembly phase. Could be better, could be worse. In order to get this engine apart, I have to get to the bottom of it. And in order to do that, I got to get it off this table. I do have an engine stand I picked up a little while ago, but what I don't have is an engine hoist. But I do have a lift, and on that lift I've got a double plank of wood here that used to support a basketball goal in this garage that looks like it's sturdy enough to support the weight of the engine if I suspend it from some chains. So I found some attachment points. This is where the generator bracket was, and I found an eye bolt that fit perfectly down in there. This is a stud that retains the coil bracket. It's pretty beefy. I put a little spacer in there to spread the forces from this hook around so the threads don't get damaged on it. Secured it with a washer and a nut there. And then I just put chains on the attachment points for the engine stand. So that gives me 4 points of lift. It should balance it out fine. I'll lift it up, pull the table out, and then lower it down to the height of the stand, and then put it onto the stand. That's the plan anyway. Makes me nervous. Okay. Hasn't fallen yet. Okay. Okay, let's take a look. The engine's free to rotate on there. The hole's not quite lined up, so I'll put a little handle in here and then line that up so I can put the pin in there. And then hopefully we can undo the chains. Okay. Okay, pretty cool. As far as as the engine warms up, this mechanism here heats up and pulls these doors open so that the engine can cool off. That's what those are about. That'll need a little cleaning. We'll work on that. Not too bad. A lot of these be filled with animal debris and animal nests. Let's get this oil cooler off. 2 attachment points here and here. That worked. I've been putting off taking out the distributor, but maybe I need to do that to get this rear shield out. Shockingly clean under there. Looks really good, actually. Now the nuts for the head studs are underneath these rocker arms, so we have to pull these off in order to get to them. Next, we're going to remove the rocker arm studs and the push rod guides. The fastener portion of these rocker studs have very thin, sort of shallow faces, so the socket has to be perfectly mated there. If you rock it at all, it'll slip very easily. These are the nuts and washers that attach to the long studs and are the other component that holds the cylinder head in place. The others were those rocker arm studs that we already pulled off. So we got those. Now we need to get these. That stud's turning. Yep, I can see it turning down there. Is that nut stuck on there? So here's the nut. It's rusted onto the head of the stud, and down here is the base of the stud as it goes into the block, and it's coming out. You can see it turning down there. Threads look pretty good on that. Afraid it's not going to come through. Oh, it came through. Okay. Threads look pretty good on that stud, but it was supposed to be retained in the block, and the nut was supposed to come off, but it didn't. So we'll have to work on that. Before we pull the heads off, we need to pull out these push rod tubes. They come out through the top here, and they have a little seal at the bottom. So we'll knock them out. Anticipating this moment some time ago, I ordered a special tube from Clark's Corvair that is specifically designed to help you push out these push rod tubes. You just set it there, and then you hammer on the other end, and that'll hopefully be what we need to pop these out. And the idea is you need to take this seal off of here. And that comes right out. Pretty nifty. Seems to be stuck. It's moving on the front end. Actually, taking the whole cylinder with it. Why should it do that? Why shouldn't it do that? Take this off. Complete. So, the middle cylinder is coming off. These two are not. Or it's coming off of the middle cylinder, which is cylinder number 3. 1 and 5 are sticking to the head and pulling off from the block. I've been working on this a little bit, and I think these outside cylinders are going to have to come out with the head. I don't want to damage anything by trying to change that situation. So let's just see how this goes. You can see the piston rings are already past as that cylinder comes off the piston. I wanted to leave those seated in there. I don't want to get stuck almost out and then have a problem. Oh boy. Is that the situation we're in? This one's cocked a little bit. Probably causing it to jam. See, that's actually coming out now. Wish I'd been able to do that before. All right, let's just take it off, I think. Here we go. Okay. There we are. Might as well take this off because it's not going back down onto its piston again. There we have a jug there, and I do see pretty good cross hatching on that cylinder wall. Doesn't look too bad, really. Looks pretty good. Outside's very rusty. That one looks pretty good, I guess. Here's the piston heads. Definitely got a lot of deposits on them. See the lifters in there. All right, now look at this. This is our number one piston that was problematic when we were checking compression. Look at this ring here. Where's the rest of it? Oh, right here. That just fell right out of there. So that ring was broken, and it's just like we were thinking at the time. Maybe we had a bad ring on that piston. Sure enough, there it is. There we go. There we go. Balls look pretty good, gotta say. Uh-oh. Yep, this stud came out. Yeah, stud's coming out again. Okay, one more. Yep, that came loose. Come back here and there we go. Now see that middle one. A little stubborn maybe. I broke that fin maybe. Yeah, this isn't good. No, I broke the fin. So that's bad. Very bad. Don't do that. There we go. Here comes the piston. I'll get past the rings here in a second. Squirted a bunch of oil on my pants. It's pretty grungy. There's a lot of debris in there. I bought this Black & Decker Workmate workbench. I don't know, I bet I bought it 30 years ago. And it still comes in handy. Yeah, she's still on there solid. Wow, what do you do in this situation? Start breaking stuff? It's like that was never going to come off of there. If you do me some thinking on this. Whoa. I mean, I've tried dumber stuff. You probably have too. Got any ideas? I'm out. It's coming out. Boom. Wow. Okay, good. This cylinder, you know, I broke a few fins on it, so looks like it already had some broken fins actually. Those are not fresh right there. They've got some corrosion on the broken parts, so I may not have ruined it for exchange, for core exchange. It may have already been ruined. So that makes me feel a little better. Good. There's a combustion chamber in question. It definitely has a little more corrosion on the wall compared to the others. And I think that's what kept that cylinder sticking down in there. I recently engaged in one of my favorite hobbies, buying tools. Yeah, this is a valve spring remover tool. Let's see if it works. It was like 26 bucks. We'll see. Doesn't look like it has the clearance needed from this here. Doesn't stick up enough. Yeah, see, this right here prevents this from pushing down on anything because that's where the movement stops. These springs, they don't stick up above the plane of the mating surface with the valve cover. I don't see this working. Okay, I get to buy more tools. I don't seem to have the right tool to take these valves off their valve springs. So there is another way to do it. And that's basically to put something like this socket that fits over the valve spring cap. And then, you know, you whack it with a hammer and the valve spring cap drops down below where the keepers are. And then the keepers come disengaged from the valve stem and that frees up the valve. That's the idea. So let's see how this works. I don't like it. It's like I feel like I need to keep hitting it harder and harder. I feel like I'm going to break something. Maybe I'll give it one more whack. Okay, that's not working. Maybe I can try another way. Okay, so we'll try a little hybrid technique where we're using our socket but with the tool here. It's slipping. Which way does this need to go? It doesn't want to move. It's just really hard to push that down. Well, did it go down far enough to take the keepers off? No. You get it on there and you can't get the force needed to push that down like that. it hurts the hands. I feel like that's gonna slip off of there. And something's gonna break, like my face. I don't feel like it's pulling the cap down. I feel like it's bringing the bottom spring up and compressing this area. It's like it just pulls the spring up, doesn't push the keeper down. Well, guess what, people? I got the old sledgehammer and socket technique to work. Of course, I didn't catch it on camera. I didn't think it was going to work. But I gave that a good whack. The little keepers or collets came up out of there, and this thing was sprung. And there's the little keeper on the top. Springs off. And one key there was I put a socket underneath there to keep the valve from moving while I'm whacking on the top of it. And she's just going to come right out. Look at that. How about that? Valve actually doesn't look too bad, right? Looks better close up. It says GM on it. Cool. There we go. There we go. Got it. Okay. You just got to learn how aggressive to be. I hope it wasn't have trouble getting out because it was bent. Doesn't look bent. There it is, all valves removed. This cylinder was on its way out. I just pulled them out together. That's number 6. Whoops. Scott. I broke this bolt head off because I did not check the direction of the drill. Now I've got a broken bolt in the block. Very bad. Oh, pretty sludgy. Yep. So that bolt that I broke is not a blind hole. That might improve the chances of extracting that broken bolt a little bit easier. I think I can just drill it out through there. I don't know. To think about that. I believe that is the pressure plate. What did that do? Oh, that's what it did. Okay. Flywheel off. I notice there's a lot of oil inside this housing. I don't think it belongs there. I think it's probably leaking out this front seal in the crankshaft. So during the rebuild, we'll be sure to replace whatever needs to be replaced there. I'm going to leave the two corners for the last minute. The shop manual says to tip the block at a 45-degree angle when you split it so that the crank and the cam don't just, fall out. So that's what we're going to try to do here. Now, I've never inspected a crank before, but looking at this, the journals all look real smooth, and they feel smooth. I don't feel any grooves on there. Y'all can tell me what you think. I think they look pretty good. So, moving on to the camshaft. Only thing I'm noticing with this is some areas of discoloration on some of these lobes on the edges there. And maybe some discoloration here as well. Is that significant? I don't know. Doing my best to keep track of all the different components. I got them all laid out here from the rear of the engine to the front. 135, 246 with intake and exhaust valves noted. Trying to keep all the parts together. We still have a little sub-disassembly to do here. Not all of the pistons came free of their cylinders during the head disassembly, so I'm going to work on some of that. The shop manual says to push these through with the handle of a hammer. Okay. All right, that worked. This one, I started taking out the wrong way. So maybe I need to pull these rings off and push it back the other way.
rather not break it, even though I'm definitely getting new rings on this car. No breakage. Let's pull the lifters, keeping track of where they go. This is the driver's side of the block. This is the front of the engine. This is the rear of the engine. That makes this cylinders 2, 4, and 6. And 2 starts with exhaust and then intake. Exhaust, intake, exhaust, intake. So this is 2E.
All right, this engine disassembly is complete. We've got the entire rotating assembly removed. We've got the entire valve train removed. Pistons, cylinders, connecting rods, everything. Everything is out of this engine. And the question now is, what are we going to keep and what are we going to replace? I'm going to keep the block and all the studs on the block, except for the 3 that came out. I'll just go ahead and replace those with new. We're going to have the cylinder heads rebuilt, and then we're going to have the entire valve train replaced. And that's going to include the camshaft, which is sitting over there. Because I think once you start replacing components, you might as well replace everything so they fit together properly. These cylinders are going to go. Clark's has some full fin cylinders that should make for good replacements. I'm going to replace the pistons as well. But we'll keep the connecting rods, and we're going to keep this crankshaft. I think it just needs polished. I'm going to make sure that it's up to spec. We'll do that. Probably just polish it and reuse it. Transmission is working well as far as I know, but it's ugly. So we'll see about just a cosmetic restoration versus some kind of rebuild. Same with the differential. And then with the clutch, flywheel, pressure plate, bell housing, we'll keep the bell housing. Might replace everything else. To be doing some thinking about that. So that's the plan right now. We got a big order to make. Most of that will probably be with Clark's Corvair. They make it real easy. They've got a sheet you can use, kind of a worksheet, where you can specify what your engine type is and then pick and choose what all components you want. So I'll be going through that, talking with them, making sure I'm getting everything I need. So we've taken apart a perfectly good engine. The next time we work on it, we'll be putting it back together. That should be interesting. Nothing I've ever done before. I'm just learning as I go. Maybe you are too. We got a lot more work to do on the car as well. Hope you're enjoying this project. Please remember to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you can follow along. While you're waiting, keep well and keep learning, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.